The Champions Classic tips off 6:30 Tuesday night, ESPN live from the Mecca, Madison Square Garden, New York, New York. Michigan State and Kentucky should be a good one. Now, I have spent some of this week building up this Champions Classic as not the event it used to be. This may be the rival fan in me. I'm not trying to do it, but I think there are some questions with pretty much every team that isn't Duke in this year's version of this event. For starters, Michigan State is undefeated, 3-0, but dropping on Ken Palm down to 33rd in the sport, which is a little strange given the undefeated start. Kentucky, on the flip side, holds strong at fourth nationally, even though they did lose the big rivalry game to Louisville. But while they analytically are still held up in high regard, Mark Pope's been at the podium giving a weird series of press conferences about the emotional state of his team. Said they got too emotional in the lead up to Louisville, and he's not ready to talk about it yet. But one day he will be. And they did something out of character. Fast forward 48 hours later, and he's still discussing it and says he's frustrated that the team isn't where they need to be yet. So I don't know. Pope is like very clearly kind of figuring this team out and doesn't love where they're at. Tom Izzo will bluntly tell you to anyone who will listen, if we play the way we've been playing, we're getting wrecked by Kentucky in this game. So let me start broadly with this, Carter. Which head coach is more frustrated with their basketball team right now, Tom Izzo or Mark Pope?
I think Tom Izzo is more frustrated with his basketball team than Mark Pope. I think that Mark Pope should be the one that's more frustrated with his basketball team.
Interesting interpretation. Okay.
Because my coach is always frustrated. He was
Even
frustrated last year when we won the Big Ten by 3 games and made it Elite Eight.
That's a good point. When Tom Izzo loves his basketball team, he still is very frustrated with them.
Yeah, like it's constant frustration.
Yeah. And Mark Pope doesn't operate well with frustration, we're coming to learn. He
No,
he
he's kind of
likes,
anti-conflict. He just wants his team. He just wishes they were in a better spot than they're currently in.
yeah. Okay. So
But not frustrated. Not
that seems
frustrated.
more dire for Kentucky, no?
I think that Kentucky has more on the line in this game. Yes. And I brought that up to you offline, and I truly do believe that. And that's not to, put Michigan State in a spot where I, as a Michigan State fan, don't think that they can win this basketball game. I do think they can. And honestly, I'm at a point where I'll even use I expect Michigan State to play well and win this basketball game. I think Kentucky needs this game way more than Michigan State.
Explain that thought process to me. Why?
Because one of these teams currently has a $22 million roster that has banged up pieces, and their coach is talking about how he should do this, that, and the third. And also, they just lost to a rival.
You make a compelling pitch.
While on my side, my team's doing exactly what they were built to do, not shoot the ball, defend, win games, and beat top 15 teams at home.
Yeah.
I'm vibing, dog. I'm vibing this year. I don't have a $22 million roster. All my guys are healthy. So like I'm kind of rocking out, going where it needs to go on with the flow here.
Yeah. Okay. Think that's fair. Um, Tom Izzo against Kentucky since Y2K. Do you know the record?
When was Y2K?
2000, I believe. The,
Okay.
the new millennium.
Okay, for sure.
5-3.
Hmm.
They've only played once since COVID, and
And
that
we
was a
won.
win. Yeah,
Both
I
of them.
I was in attendance. The Madi Sissoko game, as some are calling it.
The Euro step that never was.
Yeah, I shared a elevator with Megan McEwen and Randolph Childress, and Megan corrected me for mispronouncing her name accidentally.
Is it McEwen?
Yes,
I miss RC.
I do too. Hi, RC. I miss Megan as well. She probably doesn't remember who I am. Anyways, point being, Tom Izzo, while frustrated with certain elements of his basketball team, I think will almost always be dangerous in spots like this. Like,
Mhm.
here's the way I frame this from the outside looking in. I think Mark Pope doesn't trust his team. I think he is openly criticizing a couple of his defensive guys for what they aren't defensively yet. He has outwardly said he doesn't like the emotional state, like what they carried into the big game against Louisville was not good. Um, he's looking for reasons why they're not where they should be, and he doesn't know yet. Meanwhile, I don't know if this is a wrong interpretation. I think Izzo is frustrated with certain spots. He hates his shooting guard spot. He hates a lot of elements of this team, but he loves and trusts a lot of them. Tom
Hmm.
Izzo's ready to go into war with Jeremy Fears. He's ready to go into war with Jackson Kohler and Carson Cooper. He's ready to go into war with Cohen Carr. Do you agree with my outlook in terms of just readiness mentally, emotionally for this game?
Yeah, I do. And I think that, on the topic of that, I don't know if on the same token, Kentucky's necessarily, if Pope and his players on the same page is waging war right now. I think that Pope is trying to get the best out of guys on certain ends of the floor, especially speaking to his quotes about Ortega and Diabate getting better on the defensive end, which look, they played some cupcakes. They also played Louisville. Louisville's a great offensive team. This is still the 10th best team in the sport, defensive efficiency wise, right now. So it could be worse. But I do think that Pope is still trying to get the most out of his team, even early on in the season. And even to his point, kind of take the words out of his mouth, they're not where he thought they would be at this point.
Who's the better basketball team?
Define basketball team.
Who's the better basketball team?
Right now,
That's as simple as I can make that question. Who's the better basketball team?
Michigan State.
Analytically, Kentucky is 29 spots higher than Michigan State, and you comfortably answer Michigan State as the correct answer to that question.
Yeah, because we're communicating like this, not via calculator.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're the better team right now. I think that Kentucky is in it. And look, I get what I'm setting myself up for here, but at the same time, I like to do it like this. I'm looking at Kentucky right now. That's not the fourth best team in the sport.
I'm not trying to play gotcha with you here. I'm really
Mhm.
not. But that's not how I expected you to answer the question. And I was going to have a follow-up that I did expect how you're going to answer. I thought you would say Kentucky's the better team, but Michigan State's the team you trust more, which I agree with for what it's worth. Now, you can debate how close they are in caliber. Kentucky spent more money on this roster than anyone. They're still missing some key pieces, Jaden Quaintance included. They're
I would
hurt.
still go as far as say as they had the better roster though. Like that's easy. I think they have the better roster.
Okay, I guess I mean, the idea that Michigan State's a better team than Kentucky, I don't even think most Michigan State fans would agree with you. And I'm not trying to like argue it too much because I'm going to spoil my prediction here. I'm going to pick Michigan State to win this game. Um, but it's an upset. They're 5.5 point underdogs. Any metric you can find will tell you that Kentucky is a better team. Other than record, Michigan State's undefeated right now, but Michigan State didn't play Louisville at Louisville, and
Mhm.
I don't. I'm surprised you feel that Michigan State's a better team than Kentucky right now.
I'm just not honestly, truthfully impressed with Kentucky up until this point. And look, this might be the one that impresses me. Truly, I could definitely see that happening. I think they had the no, I know they have the better roster, but I don't think they're the better basketball team right now.
Well, I got to go down this train now that we're doing it though. Earlier, there was some video we did earlier where we were placing teams like nationally.
Hmm.
You put Michigan State in the 30s,
Hmm.
which is where the analytics have them.
Hmm.
So by definition, if you think Michigan State is better than Kentucky and you have Michigan State in the 30s, do you not have Kentucky lower than that?
No, I think Kentucky analytically is better than Michigan State.
I'm not talking analytics. I'm talking what you think. You said you think Michigan State's around the 30th best team in the country.
Hmm.
And you think Michigan State is better than Kentucky. I don't think there's any world to make an argument that Kentucky's 30th or worse.
Here's the argument I make. I think they're 30th or worse right now. They won't end up being 30th or worse.
Interesting. Okay. That's not my view on it, but that's interesting.
Where would you have them?
That's low, man. I
Where
know
would you
it's
have
I
Michigan?
know you're doing like competition stuff, but they've blown out the bad teams they've played. They've hung 100 twice. I like Louisville was bad, but Louisville's really good
Mm.
and healthy and at home, and that was still a 2-point game with 4 minutes left. I don't think it's that crazy to say that Michigan State's results have not even been that inspiring. I mean, the Arkansas win was good for
Mm.
sure, but like Colgate and San Jose State have been iffy. Kentucky has not been iffy with bad teams they've played. So I don't
They're
know. It
also
is.
down. They're also down their starting point guard and big.
You're right. Yeah, a lot of injury concerns for Kentucky for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'd put it like this, and I see what you're saying, and I get that. Right now, I just don't feel the same as I felt about Kentucky like 2 weeks ago, and like this is probably the best chance to flip that narrative somewhat. Um, and I would ask you, do you think this Kentucky team's playing with a lot of pressure right now?
Yeah, I think they're feeling.
Because it feels like it, and I like being in that spot if I'm Michigan State.
Yeah, spot wise, I like it for Michigan State, which again is going to spoil my prediction. I think the way we're like building this, I'm very surprised to be like, yeah, Michigan State's the better team. That wasn't what I was expecting in terms of how we're previewing this game.
I didn't feel that way either, but I feel very confident in they have better players, better roster. We're right now the better team,
All right.
and I
Okay.
don't know how to quantify that.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna
But
let you rock. It's your opinion. You can rock with your opinion. I gotta like quickly on the fly readjust many of my questions because
that's on me.
I didn't
Well,
expect that.
that's why I asked you when you were asking the basketball part question. I was like, "Are you talking about talent? Or are you talking about you know
I
like
mean,
we?"
I respectfully, I would answer it as everything. Like and again, this is you're making me like argue things I don't want to argue because I feel like it shouldn't need to be stated that the team that's 29 spots higher than the other is better. But like now I gotta explain why I think Kentucky's better, and then at the end of this video, then I have to explain why I'm picking Michigan State. So like you have me in hell with all of this. I'm like arguing myself right now. But like
Sorry.
they have a an All American candidate in OA who's not playing like it, but he's still an All American candidate. He's the best
Hmm.
player in this game. They have 5-star freshmen off the bench. Jasper Johnson, Malachi Moreno are very good, talented basketball players that are more talented and arguably better than Michigan State's freshmen, who also play a similar role off the bench. They have a national champion in Aberdeen, who I think is a giant mismatch for whatever Michigan State's doing at the two. They don't have the shooting concerns Michigan State has.
Hmm.
The one thing Kentucky is elite at right now is rebounding. They're the 10th best defensive rebounding team in the sport. Their biggest strength maps directly with Michigan State's biggest strength, and they're bigger than Michigan State in the front court. So, like, I think as far as an opponent matchup goes, you expect Kentucky to at least like hold up on the glass. It'd be a surprise if Michigan State just punked them there, and that's how Michigan State wins games right now. So, I don't know. Now we probably got to go down the matchup stuff, but I feel like I need to reframe or defend my position that Kentucky's better, which surprised me because I didn't think that almost needed to be said even. So, like I said, 5-point underdogs, right? Vegas also makes Michigan State on a neutral 5.5 points worse than Kentucky. So,
Yeah, which I think is fair too, by the way. And I guess too. And the same point, I think it's kind of weird when you look at these two teams as well, because like I get it, Michigan State wasn't the greatest against, they didn't cover, right? And that does hurt you analytically when you don't cover against the San Jose States and the Colgates of the world. Those teams are still like top probably 180 to top two, I'll say safely top 200 on Ken Palm. Um, the outside of Louisville, the Kentucky teams are probably in the 300s, I'm guessing. So, I do think that, that probably factors into it a little bit. I think when you start looking at the analytics and possibly too, oh yeah, I mean, and our one win over Arkansas's 35th on Ken Palm, which that's that seems interesting to me as well. But
I mean, they almost
um,
lost to Samford at home.
they did, they did. So they might not be that great.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't
Yeah,
know.
I
So,
don't know. For me, this is just like a very big. I don't know, very big swing game, I guess you could say, for both teams. Obviously, it's a big matchup. It's one where both teams come away from it, I think, maybe feeling differently though. Like I feel like Michigan State loses, I'm like, well, I just lost to Kentucky. Kentucky's got this great roster. That makes sense. They got the better players. Like that makes sense. Otherwise, you flip it on the other side. Kentucky loses this game. It's like, oh, yeah, we lost to Louisville. We lost to Michael Brown and Ryan Conwell in that team. But now we compound that with losing to a Michigan State team that we feel like we have a better players and better roster than.
Yeah.
Things go south.
I think you make the argument Kentucky needs this one more than Michigan State. And depending on how they're wired, again, I don't really trust how they're wired, but if you do trust how they're wired, I think you could place some emphasis on like they need to get this one in a way
Mhm.
Michigan State does not. We'll see. More matchup specific stuff from me. So Michigan State's shooting woes are real. They're shooting 21% from three this season, which is crazy. They're also very low in terms of 3-point volume as a team. Kentucky is a good 2-point defense. I talked about the size they have on the boards, but they're 22nd in 2-point percentage defense, even without Jaden Quaintance. They've got good defensive bigs, I would say. They've got Diabate to throw into the front court, always a good defender. Like, we do, in theory, believe this Kentucky team has the personnel to at least provide some rim resistance. So, how do you anticipate Michigan State's going to navigate that?
I see that they on paper should be that good, and you look at what their numbers are. Yes, they are. Also saw like Sonata Frew give this front court 13-7. So at the same time, I do have level of comp concerns on what it looks like against teams that are actually competent. Which is why this game, I think, like I stated, is so it's going to be telling, I think, of where Kentucky's actually at as a team because you can mark up those other concerns, be like, okay, they play Louisville, that is what it is. That's a great offense. Um, if Michigan State's able to get whatever we want and we're pretty good at the rim, then I think you start to have real questions about it. And I think those are real questions going into the game because I right now I really don't believe in Kentucky's defense in the state it's in. Like I believe in like Owe and Aberdeen being good perimeter defenders, but like as far as rim stuff, if they're gonna play Brandon Garrison 20 something minutes, and then honestly Malachi Moreno strikes more fear in me defensively than Garrison.
Yeah, here's what I would say on the Frew game for Louisville. I thought he had 10 and 7 because Kentucky was so worried about the guards.
That's fair.
Like pretty much every play Frew finished was created by an advantage that Michael or Conwell created. And in
Or
that
Frew,
game,
or Frew getting the ball back on offensive rebounds.
yeah, he had three offensive boards. Kentucky out rebounded Louisville in that game. Like the story of that game to me was Michael and Conwell combining for 53 points and seven threes and torching Kentucky off the dribble and scoring, and then you had to adjust and get out, and then the other guys played off of it. Like, I don't see Michigan State doing that. I think my assumption here would be that Kentucky's just going to pack the paint. And if they had done that to Louisville, Michael would have hit 11 threes. So I don't know. Do you think I'm off base on that?
No, I think it's fair. Especially because like even you thought that Arkansas probably would have tried to do that, but then again, that might be why.
Well, I think Arkansas is stupid.
That's my thing. This is your hope. You hope Coach Pope pulls the right strings.
This is where Kentucky fans write about Mark Pope being smarter than John Calipari game.
Yes, this is a moment.
Okay. Because yeah, I think like if Kentucky's just going to keep all their bodies in the paint, I actually don't really worry about Garrison holding up that much. Like
Hmm.
Kohler's probably going to be really productive and have like a double double like always. But to me, again, like the reason Frew kind of popped in that game was just they were so worried about the guards, they were like almost leaving him, and he was the recipient of it. So
Yeah.
I think for Michigan State, like you need somebody to make some shots, whether that's just fears, like do what he's been doing, hit one to two big ones early and make them guard you, or maybe we have an early moment game. Maybe this is like a big game spot. Can one of the shooting guards have a moment?
If there was a time, then it is now more than ever.
Maybe it's Jordan Scott.
I love it.
Maybe it's big game Cam Ward again.
Could see that. I think he could be a presence down low. It's weird truly when I'm looking at this game because like I said, I'm a broken record myself on this one. They should win. They should
You
win.
said
I even
Michigan State's better.
they sh yes, but
You're
they
all
should.
over the place right now. If Michigan
No,
State's better, Kentucky shouldn't win.
I think Michigan State is the better team. But I think you ask anybody else, I think they should say that Kentucky should win. They should.
That's because Kentucky's the better team on paper. Like
Sure, Kentucky. Let's say yes.
you can't
I'll give it that.
simultaneously be like Michigan State's better, Kentucky should win. That doesn't make any sense.
Why?
It doesn't make any sense.
I think it makes plenty of sense in my
If
head.
Kentucky's not better than Michigan State, they shouldn't win. Michigan State should win. I think you're trying to play the underdog game while also being like we're better than you.
I don't think we're the underdog,
I mean, you are by definition 5.5 point underdogs.
but I think we're the better team.
I know, which is why you can't say Kentucky should win.
Why shouldn't they win? They got the better players, don't they?
You got my brain in a pretzel, man.
We are the better team. They have the better players.
Shouldn't the better team win?
Not all the time. Sometimes better players win.
Okay. All right. No Jalen Lowe. How much does that matter?
I think it matters a good amount given that, Kentucky needs playmaking. And I think, well, actually, yeah, Lowe is their best playmaker. And I don't think they have him, and I think that'll hurt them offensively.
Sure. I mean, yeah, without their intended starting center acquaintance who hasn't made his debut, without their starting point guard Jalen Lowe, who I think they are more dynamic with. It's going to be a big Aberdeen game for sure.
Hmm
What do you think Aberdeen's psyche is? Because Aberdeen does strike me as a guy who will relish the Fears opportunity
hmm
and maybe not be totally spooked by all of Fears' antics.
Yeah, the thing is, I'd be interested to know like how much they're gonna lean on Aberdeen to be the point. Because I feel like they're doing it like kind of by committee right now. Like it's Chandler, it's a little bit of everybody. I think I would lean in fully to the Aberdeen point guard experience at this point.
If you're Kentucky, at least defensively, you put Aberdeen on Fears, right?
Hmm
And half court offense, I don't think you care as much, but like defensively, I think Aberdeen's gotta take Fierce and take on
Yeah.
that assignment and hold up well if you
hmm
believe Kentucky's going to win. Okay. Can we do the quick? So you said Kentucky has better players.
Yeah.
Can I get the top 5 players in this game?
Yeah, let's see here.
Because they do
O-
start Colin Chandler.
yeah, Ortega. Then I'll go Aberdeen.
You're taking Aberdeen over any player on Michigan State.
Hmm I'll go Aberdeen.
I don't think I agree with that.
Then I'll go Fierce Kohler Carr. And then I think I might go the rest Kentucky players after that.
Okay. So Michigan State has 3 of the top 5 players,
Hmm
and Aberdeen over Michigan State's 3 is probably not the consensus, I would say.
I don't think there is a consensus with these two rosters or teams.
They have Owe.
They have Owe.
One thing we can agree on is they have Otega Owe,
You do have Ortega Owe.
who has not been Otega this year.
Right. Who you could make an argument that Ortega would be pick six in this current version of Ortega.
When's the last time this Michigan State team played in the Garden?
Last year we beat Rutgers.
Rutgers at the Garden.
Hmm
Fears had 4 and 4 and 4 turnovers.
hmm
Jackson Kohler had 2 and 2 and 3 fouls.
hmm
Good Colin Carr game, 14 and 8.
hmm What my little stink about have,
Who's your little stink about?
Jace?
20.
Love him.
Yeah, fun player.
Miss you.
Yeah. Okay. Got anything else before we get to predict? I'm very confused on all of this.
I think you should be. I think this is a confusing basketball game.
Confusing scouts normally lead to Tom Izzo wins. That seems very true. Coaching. I guess let's end with that. Izzo advantage here, we think comfortably, right?
Very comfortably.
Kentucky fans might disagree with us, but I don't like the vibes with him right now.
Either do I. I think it's very comfortably. And can I put the confusion to rest quickly here?
Yeah.
Kentucky This is from a pure facts, numbers based standpoint. Kentucky has a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense, right?
Yes. Eighth offensively, 10th defensively.
They are really good at defending the 2 point range, like you said. They're good at defending a little bit of everything, to be honest with you. They just really, the one thing they don't do is force turnovers. Um, Not necessarily a thing with Michigan State. Uh, Michigan State offensively, obviously, numbers are tanked analytically by the fact that we are the one of the worst shooting teams in the country. That's definitely going to happen. But on their own right, Michigan State's pretty good defensively in their own right, right? Only a couple, let's see, what, 4 spots off of what Kentucky's at. Right now, do you trust Kentucky's offense?
I mean, without Low, I don't think it's what they wanted it to be. I don't think offense has been the issue at all, though. So I don't know. I mean, I like they scored 88 against Louisville. They've blitzed bad teams.
Hmm.
Like they're averaging in the last 3 games, they're averaging like 93. So I think my answer honestly is yes, and I don't think that's the answer you're looking for, but I think their offense
Oh,
is fine.
I think it's right. The one thing for me though is that they legit have played nobody except Louisville. I'll get, yeah, of course, but like outside of that, they have played some awful teams.
Yeah, every game Michigan State's played is tougher than Kentucky's best non-Louisville game.
And last thing I'll ask you, does Michigan State have question marks as a team outside of the obvious ones?
I think they have weaknesses, not question marks. Like I shooting is not a question, it's a weakness.
Does Kentucky have question marks?
Many.
Give me Tom Izzo against many question marks.
Tom Izzo with a I know what I have versus a coach who doesn't yet have it figured out.
Tom Izzo's not a question mark figure out type coach.
Yeah, okay.
He'll add question marks.
You got a score for me?
Yes, I do. It's gonna be hideous. Um, I'm gonna pick Michigan State to win this game. I'm gonna go 70 to 65.
Hold, please. Do, 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 do. 65 would be tied for the lowest points Kentucky has scored since Mark Pope took over. They did it twice last season, lost to Ohio State by 20, lost to Tennessee in the Sweet 16.
I'll meet y'all at rock bottom.
That'd be quite a defensive performance, Cart. Maybe I'm just combative, but I am going Kentucky to win this game now. The way this entire discussion played out did not sit right with me. Like I wanted to invest in Michigan State, the underdog in this game. The team that's like, shit, that's a top five Kentucky team in the country. We're gonna grit and grind our way through this. And I'm not saying your mentality has any effect on the team, but I think you've greatly disrespected what Kentucky has still here, even if they're missing Jalen Lowe in the center. I think it's kind of crazy to like they got questions. Their offense is still spitting out 90 points every game. I think downplaying the analytics is something. And yeah, I was all ready to come with like a passionate Tom Izzo's going to outcoach Mark Pope, but I think Kentucky needs this one more. To your point, I think they're desperate, and Michigan State's not. So I guess I'll take Kentucky. You have my brain in a pretzel right now.
Not intentionally.
If we think Michigan State thinks they're the better team here, I'll take Kentucky. If we
Doesn't
think
Michigan
Michigan
State
State
all,
thinks they're the underdog and has to go like get one.
doesn't Michigan State always think they're the better team?
Um I think last year's team had a big time underdog mentality, chip on their shoulder, to be honest with you.
But they always thought they were the better team.
I'm not saying they're not confident, but yeah,
I think they think they're the better team. Yeah, I think it's going to work in their favor.
they might be.
Right. Like
Maybe maybe Trey Fort thinks he's better than Otagoe.
that's the best. That's that Kentucky.
How many minutes did Trey Fort play on Kentucky?
I feel like everyone plays 10 minutes at least, so probably 10.
Oh, okay. This is going to be a rude awakening for somebody.
It's
You,
probably gonna be me, but
if
I'm
you're
fine with it.
if you're right, this is officially all wheels are off. Michigan State's dominant, I guess.
This is me. This is me trying to get ahead of this and be in a spot where I can. I don't. I never do this. I never like call my shot because I always miss. But I'd like to call it right now. I just don't think Kentucky's that.
So if Michigan State wins, it would be more about Kentucky not being what the analytics say they are than Michigan State being great.
They are good. This is not the fourth best team in the country.
You have implied they are not top 30 in this video.
Listen, you can't be using Ken Pound ranks 5 games in.
It's you said Michigan State's 30th,
Yeah.
and they're better than Kentucky.
The 30th team can beat the 25th best team on a game-to-game basis. That's not that much
25
of a
is
difference.
better than 30,
But it's not that much of a difference.
but it's still
Yes,
better.
sure. Which is why Kentucky is the better team.
But you disagree with it, which
Yes.
means you must think Kentucky's lower than 30 or Michigan State's better than 30.
All right, Kentucky's a better team.
Okay, I got Michigan State.
That's all it took.
Yep. If we cannot do this preview with you being like, yeah, Kentucky stinks, Michigan State's better, and I'm just like, yep, Michigan State. I can't let the world. I think I agree with that. Kentucky is the better team, but I want to pick Michigan State to beat the better team.
Don't you ever just want to put yourself in a show me spot?
Okay, I'm back on Kentucky. If
Okay,
you're if you're calling
show
your shot, Michigan State,
show me.
I'll take Kentucky showing you.
Let's see it, Kentucky. Let's see it.
This has been a wild day. We'll be here to recap this one way or the other. Looking forward to it.
Let's see it.